Getting worse. Our exploratory diving bell is...
The escape the mummy is here in Paris.
Wong and his assistant, Mary Nelson, have vanished.
Our computers indicate that whatever caused it came from somewhere in the Pacific. We'll start searching that area immediately.
What's up, everyone? Hello and welcome to Gamersledge. I'm one of your hosts, Mark. Joining me today is Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hello.
And also joining us today is Monsignor Dave.
That's me. He's talking about me. You're talking about me. I'm Dave.
Yes, and welcome to Gamersledge. Hope everybody's having a great week. It's been up and down for us. And then Matt just has been recovering from sickness, and Dave is still battling ongoing sickness. So I was just being dumb. Being dumb. That's it.
Now I'm all paranoid, thinking I forgot about something.
No, I was just saying your general state of being.
No, now I get that, but I got scared for a second. I was like,
no.
Oh crap.
Yeah, no, the intent was to amuse, not to scare. So I failed on all counts, apparently. Yes, actually. I do need to give a quick shout out to a couple people who printed out between streams. Dreamer Girls, thank you for the follow. And then also Exotic Engram, well, thank you for the follow as well. You guys haven't seen the printer yet, have you?
Shank, the new Biz Rockstar, has checked in for the day and has 119 boss points.
So I saw this somewhere else, and I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And then I talked to Daniel, and he completely no-sold it and didn't get it. So I felt like maybe I was insane. But besides that, basically what it is we now have a Nicolas Cage printer that vomits out whenever anybody does anything on stream, whether they follow, whether they sub, whether they cheer, whether they raid. There's a couple redeems that trigger it as well. You can print out a waifu as an example. I'm working on printing out husbandos, so all gametes are covered, but I haven't figured out how to do that quite yet. And I've not had time to do much of anything this week. Thank you for the lurk, Shank. I appreciate that, my dude. I don't know why it's not talking, but okay. That's fine. And then, so basically we're putting all those in a basket, and once every 3 months we'll do a drawing of all the people who've done something on the stream that is printed out, and we'll give away something cool. But I thought it was cool because it's a like physical thing. You're monitoring the stream, right?
Yeah.
Oh, did it not work? It didn't pop up on the screen. I just made that macro to make it pop up in this one, and maybe I didn't do it right because it does.
Okay, I got tons of points.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it printed out. It just didn't. The macro for showing it when it prints out didn't show up on the screen. So,
okay.
Autofocus, come on. What?
The crow dad. Look. Jimmy Julius.
Wow, it is
did
just
show, but super
refusing.
late.
It's
No,
absolutely.
it doesn't want to.
Yeah, it's absolutely refusing
It's
to.
like, no.
But yes,
You will see a blurry mess.
I thought it was cool because it's like a physical, like thing that happened because of somebody doing something on a stream, and it's been very popular.
Gamersledge. Jimmy
Very,
Julius is a
very
rockstar,
popular.
has checked in for the
But
day
when I explained
and
it to Daniel, he was
121
like,
boss points.
"So you're showing a piece of paper on a digital video that somebody printed because they were watching said video and did something digitally." I'm like, yes, but when you say it like that, it sounds like I'm insane.
As so much of this stuff does.
Yes, but
Sounds like?
it's maybe it has been very popular though. So thank you to everybody that's been using. Go ahead.
Is it like a thermal printer?
It
kinda looks like
it
a
is
thermal-
exactly a thermal printer. Yes.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to deal with ink and all that stuff, and I paid like $22 for more paper than we'll ever need in the apocalypse.
Careful who you issue that challenge to.
Well, I know, but let's just say it's a lot of rolls of paper. Is the short form. I was very surprised at how much $22 got me, and the thermal printer, because I didn't buy an Epson, wasn't bad. It was only like $80, so it was not terrible. So I was like all in $100 for it.
I miss thermal printing. Like I used to love that back. This is going back.
Gamersledge.
thermal printer
Pickle
for the
Panda
Commodore
98 is a
64
rockstar, has checked in for the day, and has
small,
128
and
boss
the
points.
Printout. We used to use it for Broader Bun's print shop, if you remember. That
Yep,
one.
I remember it.
Yes.
And it was great because it was like one of those like it was like a roll like thermal printers usually are, and you can do full banners on the print shop with it. So like every time somebody had a birthday or something, we'd print out these banners with the damn thing, and it was just awesome.
Jimmy Julius, your waifu printed out, and when I held it up to the camera, I hadn't looked at it, and I thought maybe she was upside down, and she's not upside down, but I think her body is above her head. Maybe? Like she's falling? Or underwater? I'm not sure. Her hand is by her head and looks horribly deformed. So I'm guessing she must be underwater or whatever, but this is a waifu of nightmares. So I apologize in advance, but there it is. It's kind of nuts. Anyways, yes. What's up, Pickle Panda? Welcome to the stream. She's a
Jimmy
contortionist.
Julius. She is a
That could be
contortionist.
as well, yes. Except for that disfigured hand. I don't know what's going on there. So yes, welcome to Gamersledge, where we're catching up because we haven't talked in about a month. We do this bi-weekly We did not do it bi-weekly this month, so it's been about a month since we've done Gamersledge podcast. I have 97 Isekai that I have to review when it gets to my part today. I've got a couple things that I want to talk about as well, but let's start by going around the room doing what we normally do, and that is talking about what we've done for the last month in this case, and we'll start with good Sir Matt.
All right. Well, 2 of the 4 weeks I've spent traveling and sick, so not as much stuff as you think might be normally for 4 weeks worth of it. But so I've been watching Ahsoka. It's really good. It's a good Star Wars content. If you liked Rebels, you should most likely like this, because it's basically another season of Rebels with a few years gone by. I did use the sickness period to watch the entirety of Strange New Worlds.
What did you think?
Caught up on that. I enjoyed it. Season 1 seemed to have a little bit of a hard time finding the balance between too campy like the original and too new. I kind of felt like he kept jerking back and forth between the two. Like, here's some really goofy thing that you would have seen in the original, but no, let's do this other thing that's like way more like modern and serious. And then season 1 felt a little bit like that. It's still good, still really good, still the best Star Trek show that's come out in a long time. Season 2 didn't have as much of that. Season 2 also kind of introduces some things that kind of, I think, is what you were talking about, makes it seem more like it's probably an alternate timeline. But doesn't completely rule out anything. But the musical episode was solid. Those are always risky.
Yep.
The can't think of his name off the top of the head, but the dude that plays Spock, assuming it was actually him singing, which it seemed like it was him singing, has a really good singing voice.
So do you know who that is? That is Ethan Peck.
Ethan Peck.
And yes. I'm like, I wonder if he's related to Gregory Peck. He's his grandson.
Grandson, really? Wow.
Serious?
Yeah.
I would say probably my biggest complaint about the show is the insistence on trying to force Spock into a relationship of some type.
Well, I think actually what they're trying to do is tie up a 50+ year plot hole, because Spock was unusually cold to Chapel, even for a Vulcan.
Yeah.
In the original series. So I think they were trying to do that.
Yeah.
Also, Dave,
and
you have a stowaway on your ship.
Yeah.
And then obviously also setting up the I'm gonna grab the right. I keep on wanting to say Kolinar, but that's not the right Vulcan term. The
Ponfar
wedding, the Ponfar episode of the original series too, setting up the whole thing for that too. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, some of the stuff. It took me a while to figure out why I knew the actor playing Kirk, and it's the dude from the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
Like, why does this guy seem so familiar? I was like, oh, okay, that's Stefan. That's who that is.
I mean, best hair in Hollywood. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Between him and Anson Mount, they're trying to
wait. That is Anson Mount.
No, well, the Kirk, not Pike.
I was
trying to figure out the guy that played Kirk.
I thought you were saying
similar.
I thought you were saying that Pike was in Vampire Diaries, and I wasn't going to argue because I've not seen Vampire Diaries. But I thought you were talking.
I don't think Anson Mount had ever been in.
No,
no. But yeah, the guy that can't think of his name, but the guy that's playing Kirk, Jim, not George.
Right. No, I totally thought I was
George.
totally referring to Anson Mount's hair, not.
That's wild. That's insane. I don't know what the heck they're doing with his hair, but it is poof.
For a while, I thought Anson Mount was Gregory Peck's son because that is Gregory Peck hair, if I've ever seen it.
It's true.
And then I was
That's
like,
true.
oh, no, that's Spock, not the guy that's playing Pike. But yeah, so what would you give it after watching both seasons? What would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it like a solid 8.5 personally. It does not supplant next gen for me. I know you said last time that it kind of supplanted next gen. Now, whether it's,
well, I said it was on par. I don't think I said it supplanted it. I don't think I said it passed it was right up there for me. I did say that the crossover episode might be my favorite episode that's ever been done.
That was interesting because it was, that was interesting. Having not watched very much Lower Decks, I wasn't. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that, but anyway, the other show, I wasn't really invested in those characters, but it worked. It was funny. I know there's an episode that you probably really liked because it included your favoriteest thing.
Go on.
And then,
Go on.
Well, I was trying to not spoil too much.
Well, but you can say which episode without saying like what the episode was about so much.
The one that focused on La'an and Kirk.
Oh no, that was an amazing. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I figured that was a really good episode, but I that's also the episode where I finally figured out that it was the dude from Vampire Diaries. But that was a good one. Season 2 had a lot of good stuff. There was one I was going to remember to call out specifically, and now I've forgotten which one it was. So I should have written that down. But there was one in particular that really got me. Although I thought the Klingon one would actually have you kind of up in arms.
I mean, it depends what topic from the Klingon one we're talking about.
The ambassador plot.
Wait.
And conclusion thereof.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, there's a lot of mixed. I have a lot of mixed emotions about it, but on the other hand, I really like how it kind of complicated the Doctor's character.
Yeah, I like the setting the backstory and actually giving some body to all this stuff that's been
talked about
and
right,
walked around and stuff. But the ending of it was kind of Yeah. I definitely see what you're saying without going into it. I think I don't want to say it gets passed because it doesn't. And it is something that caused a lot of discord in myself when I watched it. Mm-hmm.
But on the other side of that, when you look at stuff like Section 31, where that kind of stuff covertly happens all the time, whether you like it or not, I think it's just starting wrinkles, I guess is the best way to say that. And I don't think we've seen the end of that either. I think there is going to be fallout from that eventually.
Fallout from that. Yeah, it feels like there is. But so the the you fixed it wrong episode, actually, I really enjoyed that one. You tracking what
I think so, yes.
Restitution has been made. Communication is no longer required.
Right. Yeah, but you fixed it wrong.
That is the most efficient help desk ever. No, you don't need to talk to us. Go away.
That is correct.
All right, let's get on. That's only the second thing on my list. Finished up season 1 of My Perfect Marriage, which is an anime that's on Netflix.
Yep. And is the only anime I have not watched in the last week and a half.
More time compression going on. JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen. I think I've got an episode of that to catch up on, so been working on that.
Are those 23-minute episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, I might actually start it.
Okay.
It is knowing what I know from it being all over the internet, is that going to ruin my entertainment at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. Is it good? I mean, you said it's very good,
Yeah, no,
and I'm just like, how many episodes are we talking?
2 seasons in a movie, and
Oh.
you actually have to watch the movie because the movie is actually in line. So you actually,
Is
it's
the
like
movie
motion train.
after the 2 seasons?
No, it's season 1,
Then the movie,
the
then
movie,
season 2?
and then season 2.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Someone reactivated his Crunchyroll subscription like a week.
Nice.
And no, I think it's been on for 7 days exactly now, actually.
And
So I've just been binging everything. I've been in one of those malaises where I don't really feel like playing games. And so I just like streamed all the anime into my eyeballs, apparently.
Nice. Yeah, there's a bunch I need to catch up on, and Mitchell's trying to get me to watch Tokyo Ghoul, and that's not a huge investment, but still, it's like 4 seasons.
Yeah, so I guess they're not all on Crunchyroll. It's only season 3 and season 4 on Crunchyroll. Because that's one of the ones
on there.
Really? Because I went
Because
to
we
go
watched-
start it, and it like the list of episodes started in season 3.
That's weird because we were literally watching episode 1 and 2 last night off of Crunchyroll.
Oh, maybe it's. Hold on, I'll check on the computer. Go. Please proceed. What else did you watch?
Anyway, so I did some traveling. So on the flight, they've got movies, that you can watch on your phone. I don't know exactly how they're doing that, if they've got media servers on the planes or what, but yeah, so this is kind of cool. So I watched Knock at the Cabin. I think that's the title. I didn't look it up, verify. It's the M. Night Shyamalan latest movie starring Batista, and it's. Oh dear. But yeah. Nice. So it's decent. It's not a great movie, but it was a decent movie. Unfortunately, watching it on a plane, there's a part of the movie where some bad stuff happens with planes. And of course, that happens to be the moment where the plane hits the worst turbulence, that's been on the flight, right as that happens. And so, that was not necessarily the best decision I've ever made, but hey, I survived. And then just because I was feeling like, I don't know, I will never watch this otherwise, so I might as well watch it while I'm a captive audience. I watched Cocaine Bear, which is just the dumbest thing I've ever put myself through.
Did you like it? I heard good things about it.
I mean, it's like there's almost like there were 2 movies getting made, one that was supposed to be like a legit horror movie, and then another one that was like supposed to be a comedy, and then they mushed them together.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love it. It doesn't really fit my motif that well. But I watched it. It's the one of the kids is the kid from Sweet Tooth. So that was kind of funny. And then Kerry Russell, which, that's never a terrible thing. But the movie overall was just really kind of just goofball. But
entertaining goofball. What would you give it out of 10?
It was like a 6.5. I mean, it's not like the worst way I've ever spent time, but it would be a conditional recommendation. Like Dave would probably enjoy it. I don't know about you.
I mean,
it's his favorite movie of the last 10 years. So,
we were just talking about Ian today because Lexi remembered that we went out to a bar with Ian, and I was just thinking, if Ian loves it, then it's probably like a mid for me, or it's the other way around. I'll love it, and Ian thinks it's the worst thing that's ever been made.
Oh dear. But yeah, so that's pretty much the watching front. I haven't done a lot of reading because travel and COVID brain makes reading hard. So I haven't really gotten much on the reading, either comics or novels front. But I did manage to complete Final Fantasy 16.
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
What would you give it out of 10?
Yeah. It's a solid 9. Story is great. It's got the best, I think, progression of starting off with political turmoil and ending up with killing God. Which that's not a spoiler because that's like 80% of the Final Fantasy games out there. But yeah, the progression, it doesn't feel jarring, right? It actually makes sense how you get from A to B. And really the most messed up stuff is that beginning part that the demo covered. So after that, it actually, I mean, it's not, there's still messed up stuff that happens in it, but it's not nearly as messed up as that beginning part that the demo had.
Well, so this is actually a good question then. Since you played the demo and then got the game, did you have to replay that, or did it just pick up where you left off in the demo?
I actually didn't play the demo because I had heard the demo was from an old build, and I just wanted to take it straight from the final build.
Okay.
So that ended up not being true, but I'm pretty sure progress carried over.
I thought it did, but I was curious how the actual process of that worked.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I have to check with
no worries.
Who did, because Mitchell didn't play it either. So Mitchell's actually played the game twice, finished it twice, and he's got the platinum. I'm not sure I'm willing to put the time in to play it a second time on hard mode just to get the last 2 trophies.
Who are you and what have you done with Matt?
I know. My cores are no longer hard.
I was nervous when I heard that news that you weren't pursuing a platinum in a game. I was like, huh.
It happens more often than you think. There's certain games that just, usually having to replay a game, especially if you have to replay it on a difficulty that was locked initially, is usually a no sale for me. That's usually that's like there being any multiplayer trophies. Those are just not even going to care about it.
Heaven forbid you play with your friends. I know.
It's terrible.
Power to the people. Games are supposed to be solitary experiences.
And then last night I finished off the Resident Evil 4 remake, which is another one that I will not be platinuming because Resident Evil trophy requirements are ridiculous. But yeah, I've never played the original Resident Evil 4. Somehow that just got missed.
I'm so amazed at that. Like I own that game 5 times.
I own it 3 times, 4 if you count the remake, and that's just the first time I actually got around to playing it.
And so what would you give it out of 10?
I would give it probably like a 8. If you take out the fact that it's a remake and if we're calling it an original game, that would probably actually bump it up a little bit. But in terms of remake quality, it's what we've come to expect from Resident Evil remakes. They're really well executed. Some of the clunkier things are streamlined. It's still suitcase Tetris with your stupid inventory, trying to, get as much stuff crammed in there as you can to, get through. There were several times where I thought I'd screwed up something so bad because I was so low on ammunition. I'm like, there is no way I can make it through anything. And, it eventually works out, but it's a 3-act story. So there's 3 main areas. Once you leave that area to go to the next one, you're locked out of the previous area. Again, having not played the original, but having talked to others who have, it seems
Iron
like
Man Duck. How is it going, all you
much
cool
like the Resident
cats?
Evil 2, it isn't a literal translation, but it feels like it could have been. So that's
Gamersledge.
a solid critique, I think, of, or not critique,
Gamersledge. So at
Oh,
Iron
that's gonna
Man
be
Duck.
funny.
to any remake. So yeah,
Oh, that's gonna be funny.
I'm a fan of that. A fan of the game. Yeah, and it is so weird that
Pretty
somehow
sure you should
4
consult a
is,
medical
like, the game I
professional for
missed
that one.
because
Good luck.
Resident Evil was my first PlayStation game.
It told you
Right?
to go
And
to
I
the
was
doctor.
diehard through the series through 3, and then somehow 4 just fell off, and then 5 I tried to play and it was just not what I wanted. So I kind of fell off with the series until 7. It's kind of funny because 8 and 4 actually have a lot of parallels. Structure of the story.
Iron
and
Man
the,
Duck.
the
Nice
kind of
and
the
tie
base
for so I
events
be
that
in the
happen. There's
shodos.
actually a lot of parallels between 4 and 8. So I found that kind of funny. But,
Gamersledge.
and so
No
now
worries.
I'm going back
Thanks
to
for the lurk.
Nier Replicant because I haven't gotten the true ending for that yet. So
I've been watching Siuni play that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Well, I mean, I'm at the point now again where I know I'm not going to get the platinum on this one because there's one that's like beat the game in 15 hours, and I'm any type of speed run thing is just a no go for me. So I already know I'm not getting the platinum. So at this point, it's just, hey, I just want to know what the full ending of this game actually is. It's not as good as Automata. Automata is a better game, and I did platinum that one. But yeah, it's still a solid game, and I hope the series can continue. I hope Yokotaro can figure out another crazed plot line to throw another 10,000 years into the future of, the last one and see what goes on. The dude that wears a moon on his head, he's got crazy thoughts and he does crazy things. So, but we can appreciate those crazy things. So yeah, I think that's pretty much most of my entertainment stuff that I've done over the last few weeks.
Dave?
Yo. Sorry. Actually, I thought for a second that I didn't play any games, but I actually did, and I sort of beat them. So there's that. So Devolver had a sale on the Switch. So I went looking through some stuff, and I found this one called McPixel 3. Anybody heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's ridiculous. It's it's kind of like a part, it's like mini games, point and click puzzle kinda ish gameplay. Just goofy. It's very much in the vein. There's this old game called Panic on the Sega CD that I absolutely love, and it's kind of in that vein. And that game, if you can call it a game, is like literally just a
New Year
screen.
Club.
There's a bunch of buttons.
New
you
Year
pick a button,
24
something
vibes. New
stupid
Year
happens,
24 vibes.
and
New
then
Year
you go on
24
next,
excited. New Year 24 excited. New Year 24 excited. New Year 24 hard. New Year 24 hard.
Funny. It's goofy. Devolver tends to find those type of games that it publishes. And I just needed something stupid, to play, and it was perfect. So if you like goofy kind of games, that's a good one. The next one,
New Year Club. Supporting.
that I played through was The Making of Karateka. Do you hear about this project?
I did not.
Not that one.
Do you know the game Karateka, Karateka,
I
however
can do this all day.
you used to pronounce it?
I know.
Nothing?
New Year Club, thank you for the 5 biddies. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you for the lurk and support. Get you a shout out real quick.
Oh god, and we're about to talk about a freaking 35-year-old game. So Karateka is this old. I think it started on the Apple II. I played it on the Commodore. Made the run through all the computer games. But it was made by this guy Jordan Mechner, and he went on to make Prince of Persia.
Okay.
You heard about that one?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But he basically, I'm not gonna say, well, I mean, kind of, paved the way for like cinematic games. He was the first one to really kind of put that effort into it. And he started the rotoscoped animation kind of technique in games. So like to make, lifelike fluid animation for characters, cinematic music in it, having impact on the story. Like even like way back, like he had a really big, impact on that, going forward with stuff. So it's an interesting little, thing to do. But it was done the same way they did the Atari 50 collection a little while ago,
Okay.
where it's kind of like, set up as a documentary basically.
Mm-hmm.
So the great thing about this is they had all kinds of old footage, they had new footage, they had, so there's like interviews and everything of like, him with his dad, and his dad is the one that composed all the music and stuff, and how they were going back and forth with ideas and how like everything came about. They still had footage of when he was like doing the animation, getting the footage for the animation that he did. So like they had all that and they showed that, and they even like overlaid it with the animation. Like there's all these like really neat touches they did. He had all this like correspondence between him and Broderbund, talking about how games were developed back then. And it goes through like through the course of making the game, and it even like goes through the history before that, like him and his first stuff. It let you play like demos of games he was sending to them. So like, and then they would write back notes, like they'd type up notes, send it back to the developer, and say like, "Oh, you should do this, you should do this," and then they would do that, and you got to play like the demos and stuff as they're going back and forth. So it's just a really neat way of going through like the history of a game instead of just like packaging up an old game and saying, "Here, you can play the old game." Multiple versions of the game, updated versions of the game are on there, all kinds of stuff. But it's just a really neat package, especially for like, I want to see more of this kind of like, history kind of stuff. They just did this company's doing a really good job of putting these together. I don't know if they've done any more of these past two, but they're done in the same style, the Atari 50 and the making of Karateka, and they're awesome. This is a sub genre at this point. But if you like documentaries about games and playing games, then these are the things you want to support. So I really dig it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
What'd you give it out of 10?
I mean, going back to a game that old is kind of like, oh man, this is rough. But at the same time, like kind of having that appreciation for it. So it's hard to pin a number on it. The package and the way they put everything together is top notch. So I'd say it's a 9 if you like the whole package to it. If you're just getting it for the game, then you're probably not going to have as much fun. But I like the concept of what they're doing. So I kind of want to support that. Let's see. What else? Trying to get through Ted Lasso, caught up on wrestling, except for tonight's. So there's all kinds of fun stuff going on there. Mark, you'll get a kick out of this. So AEW is going to Philly.
Yep.
Did we talk about this already?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh yeah. Your Christmas. Was that your Christmas or anniversary present?
It's going to be like a Christmas present to each other. But
yes.
We're going to be like 2 seats.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 2 seats behind front. Well, not 2 seats. It's front row, second row is us. And it's the side opposite the ramp.
Oh, okay. So you're on the end.
Yeah. So
nice.
And it's like, they do a lot of stuff there. So, and it's funny, like as we were watching like the last Dynamite, I was like, see, you're gonna see that, like you would have been right there for that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's all super excited about that.
Did you ever imagine the first time that she agreed to watch one of these things that this would be the result?
No.
Listen, my wife is immunocompromised and antisocial. So the day she said, I want to go to a pay-per-view, it's on my bucket list. My jaw just about hit the floor because she doesn't voluntarily go into large crowds of anything for anyone. You know this. You've been to Gen Con with her. And she was petrified the whole time. She said the only way she made it through Gen Con was because of you. Because you were so nice to her.
Aww. I try.
But yeah, I mean, it's like now she's like, I want to turn this into an annual thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be an annual thing. I think she just wants to kind of do it like once, to get the full, thing.
And then once she has it, then she's going to want more. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. I'm wondering.
Are you joining us on Sunday?
Again, I don't know. Game time decision. Have to see what's going on.
All right. I mean, she's welcome to join us too. She just has to put a pair of headsets on.
Yeah, I told her. But she jumps in and out sometimes, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I don't know exactly what's going on this weekend. I'm assuming I'll be watching it. So we'll have to take it by ear.
Because I'm just saying you don't have to buy it if you watch with us.
No, I understand.
Okay. All right.
I also like the idea that they're going to Max. I hope that
pans out also. I would be I'm only paying $5 a month for it anyways, but
yeah,
I would like the pay-per-views to go to Max, and then we don't have to worry about that anymore.
That would be so sweet.
It would, especially as they're ramping up the number of pay-per-views that they're doing in a year.
Yeah, that's I'm seeing this, and I'm just like, I can't keep up that pace.
Well, so that's the other reason I was inviting you, is because I use a VPN and do it as if I'm in, and it's like $20 a pay-per-view, as opposed to the $50 plus.
I appreciate that. I do. So another funny thing, I've always wanted something, and I had all these points that were about to expire. I had this like Disney card. So I had to, use up all these points, and I told my wife, I was like, hey,
Thunderrunnings raided my stream with 2
and
viewers.
she was just like, all right, how much we have? And I'm like, this much. And she's like, wow, that's a lot. I'm like, all right, we'll see what you can use, buy, pajamas and stuff for Alex, because he needs all new pajamas and stuff. So she got mugs and everything like that. Like, oh, well, here's this, and there's this much left over. I'm like, that is a perfect amount. There was a sale on lightsabers on Disney's site, and I always wanted one of those fancy lightsabers, and I was about to pull the trigger on the classic Luke, blue one.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the raid, Thunder Ronin. Welcome in, friends. Hello, Raiders. If it's your first time here, we're Gamersledge. We're a group of 11 different editors and contributors. We watch, read, and play just about everything pop culture related in order to help people wisely spend their hard-earned discretionary income, and then we talk about it here on Gamersledge Podcast. Thank you for the raid. I hope you had a great stream, Thunder Ronin. Let's see what you're playing. Lost Light. Nice. I hope you're enjoying that.
Bam!
And please proceed, Dave. Thank you.
So, but then I noticed they had the Cal Kestis lightsaber. What? Nobody's all excited for that?
No, I've heard this story already.
I have no here. Let me help. Ooh, because I have no idea who Cal Kestis is.
That's the Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, from the
and
game.
Survivor character.
Oh, wait, the one from the new game, not Starchild?
Yes.
Was that his name?
Star Killer.
Star Killer.
Yeah, but no, the new one, the
Okay.
one that respawn. The two that respawn have done.
And is this new guy related to Star Killer at all?
No, well, not that we're aware of.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet.
Star Killer is not canon at the moment.
Oh,
so-
it's not?
No.
Because I mean, I played both those games, and I thought that was the most interesting character that I'd ever actually.
It was at the time, but post Disney, it's not, and that as a character, as a concept, has not been reintroduced.
Okay.
We thought for a second that they might be sliding them in, but that didn't happen. That didn't pan out.
Yeah, that didn't pan out. But
Which is fine, but
because Whitwer would do it in a heartbeat.
God, yeah, of course he would. So first of all, the hilt itself is very cool, and the bonus of it is the only one that does color change. So you can select what color you want, for the lightsaber and everything. It's extremely cool. It's not like one you can battle with or anything like that.
Wait a minute. I will fully admit that I am a casual at best Star Wars fan. But I thought
Yeah.
every crystal attunement was geared to the wielder, and that's why it was the color it was. So what's the in-canon explanation for a lightsaber that can change colors when it's still being wielded by one person?
Because it's special, because video games.
Because it's a toy.
Is it still calibrated by kyber crystals? That's the right name, right?
Yeah, Kyber. It is, but
Woo!
in game, they're basically he gets a crystal that allows him to change the color dynamically.
So it's a special kyber crystal.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I'm following. You know, I understand.
Space wizards.
Yeah, I understand now what it's like talking to Daniel, because I'm on the other side of this one, going, wait a minute.
Put on different jackets too. You're gonna complain about that?
What's that?
You put on different jackets too. You're gonna complain about jackets?
Who puts on different jackets?
How will you know what character it is? He's wearing a different coat. Poncho.
You know, we just watched a show about space whales that travel faster than light. I'm not getting into this argument. I like it.
Well, I'm glad you like the lightsaber, and I'm not. I mean, I think they should all have that feature, but it's cool
and most of the non-Star Wars branded sabers you buy do have color change. So if you're not buying them from Disney, Lucas, then most of them do.
These are the prop ones, so they're locked in the one color each because it is it's Luke's lightsaber, Luke's green lightsaber, whatever. But this one was like super cool because of that, and you can just you can change it, which is cool. The only thing, no orange.
No orange. Oh yeah.
I thought orange isn't orange in the game?
There is an orangish color. I forget what they call it. They don't actually call it orange, but there is an orangish color.
It goes through. It has yellow, red, green, blue, purple.
So most of the colors, not quite all of them, but that makes sense.
Yeah, Cal Kestis is the only known Jedi to wield an orange lightsaber.
Well, not anymore.
I don't know what that's about. I hope it's not a spoiler.
Well, no, it's in the trailer. You can see the guys from Ahsoka where, that was the first thing people freaked out about in the trailer. Like, those are orange.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not watching that, so I don't know.
Trailer. It's in a trailer. I'm not apologizing for trailer spoilers.
No. I wasn't. I'm just saying I am ignorant to the fact that there was even a thing about orange lightsabers being in the trailer of.
You get excited about dumb stuff in Star Wars land. I'm sorry.
And the specific shade of orange because it was reminiscent of the color of the original red lightsabers that came with the action figures.
See, that's going deep.
See, that's a super deep cut. Yeah.
That's he's totally right. But because I remember getting the first figure and it's just like, why is this lightsaber yellow?
Yeah, Luke's lightsaber was yellow. Ben's original one was yellow too. And then Vader's was orange red.
That's probably because it was 1974 and they didn't know how to make special colors in plastic molds.
And I don't think they had settled on the color yet when those original toys were approved either.
Yeah,
I think
probably
is
true.
Part of the problem because the lead time in those days was such that.
I also didn't think they cared.
Yeah, but I mean, also if you watch the original cut, the blueness of the saber is very unclear. It is very not clearly blue like it is now. But
it's like the joke, and it's like, well, there's a big story about why Luke has a green lightsaber, and the third movie. It's just like, yeah, it's because they had to have a fight outside, and they lost the color if it was still blue in the sky. That's why they made a green lightsaber. Like, there's no, people got to stop with the there's deep meaning behind everything.
Wait, what color was his lightsaber in the Christmas special?
I don't think he lived.
They never ignited it in the Christmas special.
My immersion is broken. I want my money back.
I think in the Christmas special, the color of the lightsaber was cocaine.
That's where the Ewoks came from, clearly.
We have walked down a very strange road.
So that was exciting. I built some Lego sets that I'm very excited about.
Oh, nice.
The Ahsoka's Jedi ship, the Jedi shuttle, that she uses in the series, and the E-Wing set. It was like an E-Wing and whatever the thing that it was like fighting. Whatever those enemy ships that were
like a raider ship or something like that, wasn't it?
You care about that. E-Wing was in the thing. You know.
You were really hyped about the E-Wing making an official return to Star Wars.
It's a ship that was there that is now there. You know, it's real now. Anything with a wing after it, I love it. I don't know. Although I don't like the ideas like I like it, but like that was supposed to replace the X-Wing, really? Like that's
yeah.
Wait, so it's just an X-Wing with the wings closed?
No. It's an X-Wing. It's an X-Wing with only 2 wings that droop.
Okay. Wait. Because I saw an artist like I think it was a concept art piece, and now I see the actual. Actually, I think it looks pretty cool.
It is cool.
I mean, I don't know how you land it without it just like going frump like that, but
there's landing gears that come down and the front, and it's perfect. It's awesome. It's actually kind of neat how they did it in the Lego set.
All right.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a very cool set, very well built.
Can you tell me the first canon appearance of the E-Wing? Because I can.
Yeah, it was the X-Wing.
Well, I mean,
no.
the first canon appearance of the E-Wing would be this episode of Ahsoka, because that's the first
that
time
is incorrect. Incorrect, sir.
In current canon?
Yep.
Oh no, it was in a comic book. It was in somebody's collection there was a
also
hangar bay where
incorrect.
there was one sitting there.
Also incorrect.
All right, just tell us, Mr. Smart Guy.
It was in Lego Star Wars: The Freemaker Adventures.
Oh god, that doesn't count.
It apparently does, because that is in the current canon.
No.
I don't even.
There is no way Freemaker Chronicles is canon. None of that Lego crap is canon.
That's what it says.
Call Balder Dash.
It says a starfighter designated as the E-Wing escort fighter first appeared in the current Star Wars continuity in the... well, why would it say that? That is the dumbest sentence that needs to be fixed on Wikipedia. It first appeared in the current Star Wars continuity in the non-canon Lego Star Wars The Freemaker Adventures television series 2017 episode, The Ember Steel Blade. So why would they say that it appears in current canon and then immediately turn around and say it's non-canon? The E-Wing made its canonical debut in the comic Poe Dameron 23.
Yeah.
Why would they even do that? That is so dumb. I'm sorry. See what bothers me is that Matt was still right on his second guess. It was in that comic book.
That's the only reason why Mark's mad about it, is because he ended up being wrong and looking silly.
No, I don't care. I literally have no dog in the fight, so it's fine. I just was looking at the Wikipedia page.
You said it like, "Oh, I'm going to show up these nerds."
Wikipedia failed you.
Yeah, Wikipedia failed hardcore.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't care about all that. I just wanted the Lego set.
Nice.
I think after this, I have to go buy that set.
I'm not gonna let the ship is cool, and it's got a really badass astromech in it too.
Oh, nice.
It's like blue and yellow, Like it's got a real funky color scheme to it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that, and it comes with the semi-Sith people that are in the show.
Okay.
Both of those sets, and the Inquisitors and the Jedi shuttle set.
Shadow Shut.
Shut.
Yeah.
I am not.
Boba Fett with the Shadow Shut.
So that stuff's good. What else? I think that's. Yeah, I mean, I could just stop there. I'm sure there's more stuff.
So,
I restarted Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And I got through character creation screen. So we'll
6
see.
hours later, got through the character creation.
We'll see.
I don't understand do I need to start over for Phantom Liberty and 2.0?
No.
Do I need? I mean, I know I can. Okay, so I'm done with the game. So I was just in that spot where it's like, go do whatever you want to do. So can I just pick up there and start Phantom Liberty from there? But I know I'll have to respec my character for 2.0.
Yeah, you can probably, I'm sure you can do that. But I know the whole, like, all the skill trees and everything like that are all different. So a lot of people are saying it's worth just playing through again, just for the fact that you can do things so differently and have a lot more fun.
I mean, I had fun with it the first time, so it's not like I'm like.
Apparently, it's so much better.
Yeah, well, I do believe that. I just okay, because I got Phantom Liberty. I wanna play it. I want to see the changes, so I'll probably do that at some point.
I am looking forward to it. I just need to. I don't know.
And Matt, you're right. All of them are on Crunchyroll, so maybe it's a problem with my TV and how it was displaying it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
All
I heard was Matt was right again.
Yes, 100%. That is what I said. Matt, you are right again.
This has been a great day.
What I have watched. So normally I'm very light on the watching side. Other than AEW Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, and the odd pay-per-view therein. But I do watch like a lot of YouTube, and I don't really ever talk about that, but there is an interesting tidal wave going on right now on YouTube. And it's basically due to Jax Films, who is a creator that I have long looked up and towards, because he is a good content creator. He's OG. He's been on like YouTube for 17 years and still doing it. But he has been taking to task reaction videos for a long time, but he recently started like an all-out assault on Sniper Wolf. If you've never seen Sniper Wolf, she has millions and millions of views reacting to other people's TikTok content where she does nothing transformative and at most describes what you're watching in the TikTok, and at worst isn't even in the reaction for the video and is just freebooting the content. And his community put together bingo cards, and now every night of the week they're doing Sniper Wolf bingo with the egregious things that she does. And anyways, it's starting to get her stuff taken down, and she's like one of the most successful YouTube creators that's on the platform. So it's very interesting discussion. And this discussion about freebooting content has been coming up a lot.
Those videos drive me up a wall.
Yeah.
When it's just people making faces next to like other things, and like, why do these get shared? And
listen, do you know who Jason Derulo is?
Why does that name sound familiar?
He's a singer, a very famous singer. He is also a freebooter on YouTube. Jack just uploaded a video talking about this, where he already calls it like non-tent. It's not even content, it's just non-tent. But the funny part is that Jason Derulo, whoever's doing the editing of his videos where he's reacting to something, and his reactions are literally him watching it and making faces with his music blaring in the background. He actually started noticing a trend that they're actually reusing the footage of Jason Derulo watching content and reacting. So he's not even reacting in half of the reaction videos. It's insanity, and millions of views are. He actually like took a thing, like he had one of his videos go viral on TikTok that people kept re-uploading it over and over again, and it's gotten like 63 million views, which would be roughly about I think he said it was something like $193,000 that he's never going to see because other people have been uploading that content. And when you look at it in that perspective, that's a pretty significant thing, I think. So it's an interesting conversation that's going on. Go ahead.
I hate my life. Can I tell you about a YouTube channel that is cool that you should be watching that you might actually like?
Yeah.
You know Stevie Richards, right?
Yeah.
So he's doing.
I'm already watching it. Yeah, I'm already watching it.
Oh yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I mean, because he's so good. I mean, it reminds me that like when I ran into him, like and I used to run into him in Philly. You know, he used to talk about that kind of stuff, and now he's like, doing that on you, and he's like really good at it. Really good at the breakdowns.
And for those that don't know what we're talking about, Stevie Richards is a performer, professional wrestler. He's actually taking segments and saying what worked, what didn't work, analyzing wrestling moves and things that worked, didn't work. It's actually really. Go ahead.
Showing you how they like protect each other in the ring, during these moves and stuff. It's just like it's really cool stuff.
Yeah, and not to mention Al Snow series comes out this month, I think, if it's not out already on Netflix. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that the wrestlers?
Yeah. Oh no. Is it the wrestlers? Yeah, I remember. It's about OVW. Or I thought. Al Snow Netflix. It's an OVW. Yeah, it is wrestlers. It is wrestlers. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that was out the thing.
I think it is out already.
It's out.
Yeah. So anyways, Lexi saw that and was like, I want to watch that. I'm like, I do too. So this works out.
Yeah, I heard that's really good. I haven't had a chance to start watching it yet.
I mean, it's Al Snow. To me, it's basically the British Kitchen Nightmares, but for wrestling. Because you're dealing with the business side of wrestling more than you are the show side. I mean, you're going to have some of that too, because that's entertaining, but it's more focused on the business side of it. And I'm very curious because it seems like Al wants to put on a good show regardless of the cost, and everybody's going, we can't do that, Al. So it looks like it's going to be really interesting.
There was a bunch of cool shows I found when I was watching stuff. When I was watching like Dark Side of the Ring, it then transitioned to something, Tales of the Territories. Did you ever see that one?
Mm-mm.
That one's hilarious.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's a series. It's called Tales from the Territories. It goes into like it gets all the old wrestlers together and they talk about like the crazy stuff that went on like the 70s and 80s and stuff. It's really funny. They have really great people on them, and the stories are absolutely insane. But then there's another show. Oh, what was that one called? I forget. I gotta find it. I'll see if I can find it for you. But they go back and they're talking about like they're following people around that are trying to make it in like all different areas and stuff. And it's funny when they were doing that, it was a few years ago, and they were like they're following around this guy from Mexico who's trying to make it big. His name is Ray Phoenix.
Oh, jeez, Christ! Nice.
And it's just like, oh, this is when he was like borderline homeless. Okay. And then there was another episode where they were talking to this like skinny dude. He was trying to like innovate and stuff. Swerve Strickland.
Yeah. So short form wrestling has been great, by the way. I do want to get back on track, otherwise we're never going to come back.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. Wrestling's been great. The honorable mention was the Jax Films versus Sniper Wolf stuff. It's incredibly interesting to watch everybody's take on it. We started a new series because we finished MasterChef United Tastes of America. I would give this season probably a 8.5. It's been pretty good. We also finished Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars, which was I liked because it was kind of about the business. The thing I didn't like about it was while they were business challenges, a lot of times the results didn't matter. Right? Because somebody spectacularly failed on the team and you had a good idea of who's going home regardless of what team won and what team lost, etc. So it was good, but it wasn't as good as I would hoped it would be. I would probably give it about a 7. It was fun though. I don't know that it'll get another season. But we started a new show that is currently on Netflix that I don't know how I hadn't seen before, but it's called 5-Star Chef. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, one of the chefs that was highlighted on what was the Netflix series about the chefs? They have like
it was either Chef or Table, Chef's Table.
Chef's Table. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was one of the guys that was on Chef's Table. And the what he's doing is he's doing a Britain-wide search for the person that is going to take over a restaurant in a 5-star hotel. And these are actual chefs that are coming with their idea of what they would do in this 5-star restaurant. And then they're going to do competition stuff so that he's 100% sure that no matter what gets thrown at them, they will succeed in business. And so it's this chef, it's a group investor, and then I can't remember what the lady's qualifications are off the top of my head, but she's also, I think she's marketing, if I remember correctly. And so they look at it kind of from those three things. And even the first episode was really good. So I highly recommend it. It's called 5-Star Chef.
I'll have to check that out.
And then we come to Crunchyroll. So I've been pulling a lot of late nights, and I kind of need to stay up regardless of if I'm busy or not. And there's been a lot of health issues with Lexi going on, so a lot of the times I was not working and I just needed something to fill time until it was either time to go pick her up or stay up so that I kept in my new sleep pattern of going to bed at 4 or 5 every morning. So I started watching Crunchyroll, and I caught up on My Hero Academia Season 6. I am happy with how the story is progressing, but I am also going to be glad if Season 7 is the last episode, is the last season, I guess is the short form of that. Because my enthusiasm is kind of waning, because they are just taking so long to get to the point. It seems like. I would give Season 6 probably a 7.5. So like I said, I'm still enjoying it, still good, but I'm beginning to have Dragon Ball Z fatigue, if that makes sense. I watched one that again would be right up Dave's alley. It's called Izakaya. Full name is Izakaya, Japanese food from another world. And the whole gist of it is that there's an izakaya, which is basically a made-to-order appetizers and beer place, that their front door goes into a medieval world. And it's basically food porn anime. And the series raises some really interesting questions, but ultimately never follows through on any of the questions raised. Like, how do they deal with tax people from the medieval world? Stuff like that. They bring those questions up and then never answer any of them. And then the other weird part is half of each episode, so these are 23-minute episodes, half of each episode alternates between a guy who is apparently like Earth, Wind, and Fire. No. What was the Grateful Dead? He's like what's the guy that passed away? Jerry Garcia?
Jerry Garcia.
Yeah. So basically, it's Japan's version of Jerry Garcia wandering around downtown Tokyo to go to bars to find the food that was in the episode that week, giving it a plug to those local places. Or it's a chef who's showing how to make the things live action. Both of these are live action. Make quick, easy versions of the food that they showed in that week's episode. It is dangerously close to edutainment. How dare them? 6 out of 10. I will say that I've not been able to skip any of those live action things either. So how dare them? Then I watched Reborn as a Vending Machine. I Now Wander the Dungeon. Oh, yeah.
Except, if I recall correctly, he can't actually wander the dungeon, so he has to have somebody like carry him.
That is correct. It's a guy who is obsessed with Japanese vending machines, who's from Japan, is reincarnated as one, but he can only speak the pre-programmed phrases of a vending machine. I give season 1, I give it a 7 out of 10. It was not bad. Got a little bit out there when he could start changing into any vending machine, but within the rules,
that's what put it over the wall.
Within the rules of the within the rules they set forth, they broke no rules. So sure, it's just, but surprisingly decent for an anime.
But the best thing I like about anime is like when they run out of ideas, that happens.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's not like they're just like, oh, let's just bring back Vampire Hunter D again. You know?
Yeah, no.
They actually
and
they do different stuff.
I want to say the opening line of the show is something to the effect of, being a Tokyo vending machine in a fantasy world is a completely ludicrous idea, but here we are.
I just enjoy how much of these things are based off of light novels, which are just this side of fan fiction.
Yeah, 100%. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too.
So he's basically delving into the entire section of Crunchyroll that I just scroll right
Yeah,
past.
no, 100%.
Just dove into that
100%. It's a anime about a overweight, bullied high schooler who no one but his grandfather was kind to him, kind of world. His grandfather dies and leaves him his house well, he has like a family, like a mom and a dad and a brother and a sister, but the grandfather leaves all the stuff to him and he becomes completely ostracized by his family as well. And he's like, it's a pretty dark start to it, is the short form. But he finds a secret room inside the house that has a doorway that leads to another world, and he levels up in the other world, and it actually affects him in the first world as well when he goes back and forth. So it's actually really good. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Then there's Am I Actually the Strongest? ? Which is the story of an otaku salaryman reincarnated with insane, ancient magic and all memories, but he really just wants to live life as a slacker. So everything he does is with the goal of trying to stay in his room and do nothing. And it never works out. 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed that one, actually.
That actually sounds like the plot of One Punch Man.
So the thing I like about One Punch Man is it's kind of a deconstruction of the whole genre and a comedy. This is not, it is like humorous and meant to be humorous, but it's not as far as One Punch Man goes, I would say. Right. But it is pretty good. And then there was Sweet Reincarnation, which is a pastry chef, like an award-winning pastry chef in our world, who is working on his greatest masterpiece, dies before he gets a chance to actually get the award that says that he's the best. He's reincarnated as a baby and grows up as the son of a nobleman in a barren barony, and he uses his knowledge to try and turn the barony into a sweets manufacturing empire because he's obsessed with creating a world of sweets. 8.5 out of 10. Not wasted time. It was pretty good. And then probably the best one out of the list was My Unique Skill Makes Me OP even at level 1.
The names are the best.
Oh yeah, the names are the best part. Guy is reincarnated, but for whatever reason, he can only get to level 1 in a world of, I'd say like level 70 is probably like the max average. Or no, I'm sorry, level like 40 is the max average. But all of his drop skills are S rank, and so he uses this to cheat the system and become the world's strongest level 1 character, which is actually stronger than most of the top level people in the world. It's a lot of fun. I gave that one a 9 out of 10. I've watched all of those.
Surprised you didn't watch the one about the can you handle my mom's 99 hit attack or whatever the heck that was with the string of ones you were rattling off. I was really expecting that one to come out.
That never showed up in my list of things I could choose from.
Dang.
That's one of the things I find wrong with Crunchyroll is it seems like they're only recommending like whatever is currently trending. But
it is clumsy to navigate.
Yeah. There's still no new Shield Hero, so I couldn't watch any more of that. There's still no more Goblin Slayer, so I couldn't watch any of that. There were a couple others that I was hoping there were updates for, but there were not. There's no new That Time I Died and Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which is one of the ones that kicked off this whole Isekai thing, along with Shield Hero, for me. I've watched all of these in the last 7 days. So, yeah. What I played, Mortal Kombat 1. It's really good. Their online sucks. I think my biggest indictment of the game was that they got me all psyched because there was a tournament mode included with it, and you can only do it locally. Which is a bunch of baloney, in my opinion. I would give the game probably a 8.5, and that's half a point being lost because of the tournament thing. Played some Baldur's Gate 3. I'm still only in Act 2 in my farthest playthrough. Played some Fortnite this season, and the season's been okay. I don't like anything in the Battle Pass this season, like not a single thing. And the middle of the map sucks. So, which is the jungle. So they need to do something here because I'm pretty unmotivated.
They're not going to do anything because,
they laid off a good chunk of their staff. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, I don't think it was any of the Fortnite people though. So.
Probably not. Been playing Dark and Darker. That is still very good. Still very hard. And then played some Starfield, but just like barely. Starfield has been like low priority. And that's it. That's all I've played in a month is those things. That's it.
Have you beaten the in the Mortal Kombat? Have you beaten the challenge thing, the smash the things?
The challenge thing, the smash the things. Test your might.
That's the only thing I've seen about it. I don't know. Yeah, you gotta. I don't know if it's button mashing or what it is, but you gotta get the circle green so that you can break all the things.
Yeah. That's
apparently a lot of people were having difficulty with the final ones. So.
Oh, okay. So, okay. I know what you're talking about now. So there is a new mode that is kind of like a board game that is separate from the story. I beat the story. I have beaten a few of the characters' endings on the towers to get their actual endings. And I have put some time into the board game, but I have not finished the board game. Mainly just due to time constrictions. And a lot of Isekai anime, apparently. But it's not like there's anything left in there that I haven't seen in the game, I guess is the best way to say that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll go with that.
I have been wanting to mod Starfield to do a lot of quality of life updates, and I can't seem to get any of the mods to work. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Gonna have to go consult some websites, see if I can't fix that. Any mods that I want to do for Starfield are not for XP or any, weapons or anything like that. I literally just want, hey, this runs better on my not a donut computer that it should run fine on. And quality of life updates more than anything. And that's it. What do we got for news? Oh, I have the first news story. Because this happened in our break between the last podcast and this podcast. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will not import your save files from Final Fantasy VII Remake. But what it will do is if you have a save file from the original game present at time of running Rebirth, then you will get Bahamut as a summon. So for all of you who actually ground out Bahamut, congratulations, it means nothing. And if you have a presence of a save file from Interlude on your PlayStation when you start Rebirth, then you get, I believe it was Alexander, if I'm not mistaken, as a bonus summon when you start the new game. Because that was the big question, is if this is all going to be interconnected, how are you going to... And they said they're not doing that. They're just straight up, nope, we're not doing that. So, all right then. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Interlude bonus save file.
And along with that, you can now pre-order the game if you want. So
yes.
Something that should
be
exciting
I'm sorry
for all of us. Well, you're not done yet?
No, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Where did I see Bahamut? I thought I'd seen Bahamut. They're saying this website, The Verge is saying it's Leviathan. And if you have Interlude, then you get Rama. Interesting. But also of note, we will be able to play Kate Sith and Vincent.
And Red 13.
And, well, Red 13, yeah. Will be a full-time unlocked character in this one, yeah. And now I'm done. That's it.
Something that probably should know, or if you haven't heard, the Writers Guild strike has been resolved and largely in favor of the writing guild's demands. So shows and movies can get back in production, and I haven't heard or seen yet how this affects the parallel Screen Acting Guild strike that was going on. Since that was primarily a strike of solidarity, I don't know if that means both of them ended when this was resolved, or if they've got some separate list of demands that they're waiting on to be fulfilled. So I haven't seen that side and haven't taken the time to look. But fortunately, we can start getting some of that content that's been getting pushed and pushed and pushed because of this. We can start getting some of that done. So that's a good thing. And it's a good thing that, they were able to get some improvements in their contracting language and obviously the whole AI thing. So, but
yeah, that was kind of ridiculous.
I'm looking to see SAG-AFTRA is still on strike. So now it's the AMPTP and SAG-AFTRA are the two things that need to reach an arrangement.
And I can never remember which one AFTRA is, so I don't know exactly what that
SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA. It is the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. Does that help?
Yeah, so it's okay. It's not movies, it's TV, and I think video games get rolled into that too, if I remember correctly.
Video games do not have a union.
No, the not video games, but the voice performance actors do.
Only if they're a member of SAG. There's not a dedicated. The talk is that they're thinking about creating one, but as of right now, the only option for voice actors is to actually join SAG, and not all of them.
Which a lot of them do, because a lot of like other voice acting stuff requires them to be SAG members anyway. So
correct. So yes, but there is talk that there is going to be a dedicated union for specifically voice actors for video games. So we'll see if that comes about. But yeah, cool. that is a good piece of news as well. SAG-AFTRA goes back to negotiations on October 2nd. So nothing will get made until that strike is over as well.
All right.
And I would also like to remind the panel that October starts on Sunday. And you know what's not long after that?
November.
Game of the Year discussions.
Oh, God. And of course, this is the year where I've written nothing down. All of my logs of things I'm supposed to keep during the year, I have been completely not kept up to date.
Other gaming news?
This one's an interesting one, but there was the Knights of the Old Republic remake that was put out there. That was part of the last Sony conference, and all of a sudden, all of the stuff, all of the tweets, all the posts are gone. They're just been removed from the internet. So
it's always a good sign. That means
that's always
it's progressing with no problem,
right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if anything, we ever hear about that project. Is it, even if it was indefinitely delayed, it's kind of unusual for all of that media to just be taken down. So it's not looking good for that project, which sucks because I've actually never played Knights of the Old Republic.
Same.
So I was kind of looking. I know.
Hold the phone. How?
Well, I didn't own an Xbox, and I didn't buy games for computer at that point in time in my life. So
I think I did own an Xbox, but I never used it because I was on my PlayStation. And I was only using the Xbox for Kinect.
What?
Yeah, it was a gift. And so
Wow, you just skipped that with that one. You only used it for Connect?
Yeah.
Like why? What?
It's not like there were a ton of like exclusives. There was that one.
Exactly.
And it was Star Wars, so I didn't care. But then I found out it was actually like a tactical RPG, and people loved it. And
No. What did you play on Connect?
oh, I don't know. I don't remember. Dude, that was store time. That was like 20 years ago. I don't even remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, dude.
All right, that's fair. But
someone was nice enough to give me one. I didn't want to like say, "Oh, we're only do PlayStation." So I got it, and then I spent the money on Xbox Live, and I, so that I could actually go online and play games. And then I never played much of anything on it. I have a Xbox Series S sitting over here right now that I've never even plugged in. That was gifted to me. Counter-Strike 2 launched.
Yeah, Shadow launch.
Yep. And if you had anything in, what was the predecessor? Counter-Strike
Global Operations, or CS:GO.
Yeah, CS:GO. If you had anything in CS:GO, hope you weren't attached to it because it's gone. Which would make me super mad. What else?
Jim Ryan has announced that he's retiring from PlayStation this coming March. So he's been a very divisive figure in video games and in PlayStation fandom. So some people are thrilled to see him leave. Some are, a little less thrilled to see him leave, but acknowledge obviously he's got a 30-year career with Sony and PlayStation, and so it's not unearned, but he's been involved with PlayStation from its inception, so he's definitely had an impact, and mostly it's been large. He's not a gamer though, and he has the personality of a wet noodle, so that doesn't earn him a lot of love in the fandom. That doesn't appreciate the more business aspected parts of the industry.
Devil May Cry and Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft animated series is coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
Were announced.
And Castlevania just dropped yesterday, I think. Yesterday or today. So I haven't watched it yet. But Castlevania Nocturne.
So much to catch up on. It's not even funny.
PlayStation Plus October titles are Callisto Protocol, Weird West, which is actually one that I had been keeping an eye on. So I'm actually excited about that one. And Farming Simulator 22, because
I'm playing this amazing puzzle game right now. I just need to talk about. So on the Evercade EXP, they're doing this. They update every month with a downloadable game that only lasts for like that month, and eventually they'll put it out on they do these like indie cartridges that have like a big collection of like indie games, and this one's called Bone Marrow. And the description is a Bone Marrow is a puzzle game for one player. Slide pieces around the board and match those with the same symbol number and fuse them together, adding the values together. So it's basically, the gameplay is basically that, remember, that game 2024? Is it 2024?
No, that's next year.
No, maybe I got it wrong. It's just like numbers and you slide them together and it's like 2 and 2 is 4, and then 4 and 4 is 8, 8 and 8 is 16, and just you keep doubling them to try and like get the top score.
That sounds like
Yeah.
math.
It is, but it's like a slide puzzle game.
Right.
They do variants of this, kind of stuff. This is like a slight RPG variant of it. So you're sliding like, two swords together, and then it's like 2 2s or become a 4, and it has this day and night cycle. So you're able to collect items during the day. So like you upgrade them with the slide puzzle, then you collect them, and it adds to your points. And then at night, a bad guy shows up, and you have to try and, but you can only attack the bad guy during the day. So you have to like avoid them, level up your stuff, and then during the day you can collect stuff and then fight the bad guy. And in collecting the stuff adds to your stats. So you have to make sure your stats are higher than the bad guy so you can fight them, and then that raises your level. And this is a really great hook.
What's the name of it?
Wow.
Bone Marrow. So it has to be like a little PC game somewhere.
Thank you, Google. How about Bone Marrow game? It is on Steam for $5.99.
There you go.
Which is not horrible. Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition hits PS5 next week and PC next year.
Oh.
So Dave knows Vampire Survivor is getting another update. No release date yet, but coming soon.
Yes. I saw that.
Don't Nods Banishers Ghosts of New Eden is delayed to February. Thank God. Although February and March are already starting to look like white dwarf stars of release date things.
Analog is doing, that company Analog that releases like super limited consoles, and everybody, gets annoyed because they can't get them.
Yes. And by everybody, we mean you. Except you always get them, so.
So they did something funny with the Analog Pocket. So the Analog Pocket.
Oh.
What?
My bad.
Shh. We talk for once. Oh, wow. You're really going to let me. Okay. So the Analog Pocket is it's a glorious machine. I'm sure I've showed it to you, before. I mean, this thing is it's just a work of art. I mean, look at it. It is just super clean, super nice, and it runs, Game Boy cartridges, Game Boy Advance, Game Gear right now. You can throw all the cores on it, so it can run pretty much anything, as far as an emulation machine if you want. I've been using it as a pure thing. Oh, that's right. There was actually another game I beat. There was a limited run game. There we go. Limited run game called Phobos Dare. And they actually released it on Game Boy cartridge. So, for whatever reason, it would look cool. And it was very interesting. Hard to describe. Very fun game, though. Because it's kind of like, it's a little trippy. But it was neat, and I played it on the Analog Pocket because it's awesome. So hard to get, like they're a pain in the ass to get. Like, they put them out there, and they finally did a thing for people where they just like finally took pre-orders and let people like pre-order, and it took a year for them to even start getting them out to people. But I think most people got ones they wanted. So then the other week they put out a limited edition one, which is just hilarious for them because everything they do is limited and hard to get. That they did a glow in the dark casing for it, so it was a glow in the dark, Game Boy kind of casing, which sold out in seconds. And then everybody was like, kind of like, annoyed at that, but it was just like, really, I mean, do you want a glow in the dark one? I don't know. But then the next week they did a limited run of clear shell models, but they had multiple colors. So there was red, green, purple, smoke, think a clear, and blue, clear blue. So
which we
that
all know is Dave's weakness.
which is my weakness. And I actually basically hired a mercenary to get me one. There's a guy I know that he's good at getting them. And I was like, "You get one?" He was like, "Nah, I'm not getting that one." I'm like, "Can you hook me up then?" Because basically, I knew I was going to be in meetings all Friday morning, and so yeah, I have a blue one on the way. Because clear blue is totally my weakness. But yeah, those things were gone in seconds.
Yikes.
I guess it's been long enough. Spider-Man 2 features over 65 suits.
Sweet.
For the webhead. Baby Steps launches on PS5 and PC next summer. What is up? It's Bubbles. Doing well. How about you? Get you a quick shout out. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. There you go.
The PlayStation Portal went on pre-order, and most Japanese retailers have sold out on their pre-orders.
So, you know, it makes sense to me in Japan. It does not make sense to me here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll buy that.
Are you going to TwitchCon, Bubbles? I can't remember if I asked if you were or not. Highlight was Day was hanging out with Andy last night for a good bit and kind of shoring up some plans for the TwitchCon, but I'm not sure if you were going, so I hope you are. But if not, no worries. No, okay. No worries. All good. We'll do dinner eventually at some point when you're out this way. Absolutely. But how was your day? I hope you had a great day as well. They announced during the time that we were off that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will be launching this February. I'm trying to think if there were any other big announcements. Well, I mean, the big one was the whole Xbox leak, which we didn't. I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about what is in there or not.
Yeah.
Because it was dated documents, but it talked about, you know, Microsoft buying Nintendo, Microsoft buying Warner Brothers. There's going to be a refresh of the Xbox in 2024. A hybrid console for 2028. What else was there? Working on Oblivion remaster for Xbox, Fallout 3 remaster, Dishonored 3, all kinds of stuff. You know, basically they came out and said, "Oh, this isn't true. You know, plans have changed since then." And you know, that seems to be true since they didn't acquire Nintendo or Warner Brothers on that point. But yeah, I think that was one of the things as well. The biggest thing that came out of that is they made no plans for Baldur's Gate 3. They thought the game was going to be a sleeper dud, sleeper/dud, and it obviously was not. And Evil Dead the game is not receiving any more content, and the Switch version was canceled. I think that's all I have on my news docket for tonight.
Yeah, there was the Sony. There was a group that announced that it had hacked Sony and gotten into all of their stuff, but it's been, other than them screaming that they've got stuff, it's been pretty quiet. So I'm not sure, how much or what they did get. Coincidentally, I did get a hit on the, identity fraud software stuff that we've got that said that email address appeared on the dark web. But, lots of times that stuff doesn't show up till months or years, even after actual.
Right.
breaches have happened, so it's probably coincidental. That is the email address I use to sign up for anything and everything that I don't, so it easily could have been from something else. But so yeah, there's nothing confirmed yet, nothing obvious yet. Sony hasn't confirmed or denied anything yet, so just something to keep an eye on in case something does. If you want to change your PSN password,
God,
probably
how
wouldn't be
did
the
we
worst
not
thing to
talk
do
about
first.
Unity?
Oh, well, they've kind of rolled back on that, so I think we have already kind of forgot because they kind of at least soft rolled back on that whole thing.
Yeah,
Good
but
point.
this will
Yeah,
this
we
will
should talk
forever
about
be a how to alienate your entire community and anyone that may have ever liked you in 1 week.
how to alienate allies and piss off friends.
Yeah, pretty much. If you didn't see the CEO of Unity, who used to work at Activision and was let go for being too greedy at Activision, which that's not entirely true, but that's kind of how I see it at this point. He was the guy who proposed that once Call of Duty players are far enough into a map, when they run out of bullets, they could charge $1 microtransaction to reload the guns. And like they actually said no, that was too greedy. That's a real thing that actually got proposed. Because
yeah, I thought that was like a meme or something when I saw that.
Nope, that's the guy who runs
was...
Unity now, and they decided that they were going to change their pricing structure to install based with a complete trust me, bro, we'll know the right amounts system, and it was going to make people owe more than possibly they earned on their games, and it looked and it looked like they were actually trying to sabotage another live service advertising platform that competed with their own, who had tried to acquire Unity previously for $20 billion, but they turned them down to do a $4 billion merger with this ad company that they have now. And so it looked like they were going to give exemptions for this new fee if they signed up and committed to doing this ad service. Anyways, as Matt said, most of it's been walked back, but there are still a lot of very upset devs who have left the platform. A lot of Unity people that quit over that week period. And they basically tried to kill the business almost. And almost succeeded.
Yeah, that is a masterclass in how to not read the room. That's
there's ways to make money, and nobody's like begrudging people making money, but like, damn, dude.
Well, when you don't talk, I mean, seriously, when you don't give any of your community a heads up, and don't get feedback from them before implementing it, this obviously was not looked over by anyone that was actually using Unity as an engine, because they would have all had the exact same response. And they could have nipped that in the bud well before they ever went public with it. So it's...
But this is also... I mean, this is totally a thing that like these companies do. Like, I used to work in like a trading firm.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be like, in charge of like, looking at, market data feeds coming in, and, these these exchanges would always say like, oh, we got a new market data feed. And I used to work for the algo people. So like, they came in with a contract, and they're like, oh, well, it's like, per eyes looking at it, it's like, this. So it's just like, great. We're throwing it into a black box. There's no eyes looking at it. And like, oh, okay. So like, all right, well, we can't do that. So then they changed it and they sent it back, and like per CPU core that's processing it, And this is when everything was hitting like hyper-threading and all that kind of stuff. So they were considering everything like that we were looking at least like 12 cores. And it's by like hundreds of machines. So all of a sudden it became like multi-thousands of dollars a week. And we're like, yeah, that's too far. Dial it back. But yeah, they just put it out there, and it's just like, here, eat this.
Yeah, and it's like I you know, I think where they walked it back to is actually a little bit cheaper than Unreal Engine. But sorry, if I am paying to license a product from you and I create a product with the engine that I am paying for you, you should not get to claim residuals on my product that I built in your engine.
Insane.
I mean, that would be like saying that Adobe could turn around and retroactively tax any person that's made a YouTube video using Premiere. It is mind-bogglingly stupid. And I'm almost positive, I mean, there's still probably going to be class action lawsuits about it, to be honest. Because I know the European Union will not put up with that stuff at all.
Yeah, they tend to not like that.
Yeah, they really don't. So, I can't believe that we didn't talk about that before now. That's crazy. That has been like the biggest like train wreck that I have been watching.
Yeah. That was impressive. Because Unreal is like isn't Unreal's free until you release a product, right? And then it's percentage based.
No, that is not. That's wait. Which one did you say? Unreal or Unity?
Unreal, yeah.
Unreal is until you. I think there's a threshold on that too. Unreal licensing. Or yeah, license pricing. Come on. Oh God. What are you doing here? It's free to get started. Includes everything with community support. Enterprise licensing is $1,500 per seat per year, which is not terrible, to be honest. That's for non-games interactive off-the-shelf products requiring royalty-free distribution. And then I think it's 5% of... here you go. 5% royalty is due only if you're distributing an off-the-shelf product that incorporates Unreal Engine code, such as a game, and the lifetime gross revenue from that product exceeds $1 million USD.
Ah.
The first $1 million remains royalty exempt. Then you got to pay the 5% after that, which is not terrible because a lot of people don't hit that threshold. And I believe that it is Honor System self-reporting, which, I mean, they can see roughly how many people are playing something on Steam. So they can kind of get vague ideas, but I do believe it is still self-reporting.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to not, and yeah.
The interesting part is It's free to use for learning and for developing internal projects. It enables you to distribute many commercial projects without paying any fees to Epic Games, including custom projects delivered to clients, linear content such as films and television shows, and any product that earns no revenue or whose revenue falls below that royalty threshold. So if you make a red versus blue in Unity, they get nothing. So that's interesting. But yes, I do believe they Unity walked theirs back to 2.5%, if I'm not mistaken. But that was still at a lower threshold. I think it was 100,000 or something like that.
Yeah, but the stuff they had in there about like even installs.
Yeah, like installs of demos. Even.
No, not even just installs and demos. In the original thing, it was multiple installations from the same person.
Yeah.
So but it and installed it again because you had to like seriously update your OS or anything like that. That's a new one. Because they couldn't figure out, making it unique, so they just counted everything.
Well, and the thing that then when they were asked for clarification, they said that, like, for example, if I sell my game to the rights to distribute my game on Game Pass or PSN, and 2 million people download it, Unity turned around and said, oh, no, that's not the developer that pays that. That's going to be Sony or Microsoft. And I'm sure the response in both camps was, "Duh fudge? What? No."
The hell I am.
Yeah, I was thinking this is a surefire way to make sure that there are no Unity developed games on Game Pass or PSN real quick. So dumb.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think there's anything else. I can't find anything else of note. Nope. Stray is getting an animated movie. That was something I wanted to say.
I missed that one. That's interesting.
Makes sense.
It's cute. Makes sense to me. And Starfield had the biggest launch ever for a Bethesda game. And also, if you weren't aware, Ed Boon did Hot Ones. And it was pretty tame. The questions were tame. And that's it. That's all I got. I got nothing else. All
right.
So a quick thank you to everybody who makes the show possible. You guys are all rock stars. That's not going to fire off because I'm on the wrong thing. Let me find the thing. There we go. Thank you to our bosses, to boss producers. If you're watching anywhere other than on Twitch, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content, which is every single day of the week, Monday through Sunday. Although, I probably should talk about that as well. bit.ly/mechanicsgl will get your name on every single show that we do as a producer. A giant shout out to our bosses, to boss producers who are all scrolling across the screen right now. Or here in just one moment. There we go. And then also a huge shout out to all of our Twitch, Patreon, Facebook, Mechanics, YouTube, and Kick producers, without whom we couldn't do what we do, and without you coming to hang out with us on the regular. One of the things that we may be looking at is actually dropping the number of days for streaming. Part of this is new work-related stuff, and part of it is, I think we've hit kind of our plateau right now for, like, I want to get partner with Twitch, and 25 to 32 seems to be our regular average sweet spot right now. We need more than double that for partner. And I don't think that's going to happen overnight. So I think what we may end up doing is dropping a few days, and working on more post-produced content to try and build the audience to come to the live streaming, if that makes sense. So
we don't have more than double that just for this right now, what we're doing?
No, we're at exactly average right now.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, 25.
I thought
26.
Matt and I scared everybody away.
Oh, no. No, at one point we were at 32. Phantom Soul is doing a backflip and falling over to let you know in chat right now, to let you know that he is here.
He's here.
Okay.
So yeah. So I don't have, like, this is not set in stone. We're still I'm still discussing it at the moment. But I figure we will probably drop to maybe 3 to 4 times a week instead of 7. Not that I don't enjoy streaming every day. I very much do. But at the same time, I think splitting that up a little bit may be better for getting more folks in when we are on, rather than having us be here every single day. So we'll see how that works out. That's a surprise announcement to everybody. And I'm not sure what days are being axed yet. So all complicated stuff in the background that we're trying to sort. So we will be, I should give notices now. The week of October 18th, I have no idea what that schedule is going to look like, because that will be TwitchCon. I have people coming in Monday evening, and I'm guessing I will pretty much be offline that whole week. I will probably say, to be safer rather than sorry, we'll be off that whole week, and if we do stream stuff, it will be probably not in the normal slotted times. If we do, it'll just be a surprise bonus stream. So that's happening. And then the following week, we will probably be dark also that week, because that's my actual interview with the Germans. And I will be attending a conference here for that week. And then the week of November the 13th, we'll be dark again, because I will be in Germany. So 3 weeks out of the next 5 weeks, or 5 or 6 weeks, in that period will just be dark. So apologies for that in advance, but thank you for your patience. And I did see that one of the upcoming shows for next year was in Hawaii, so I might ask for that horrible duty to work that trade show. Mm-hmm. But I got to get them on the Japan ones for sure. So we'll try and get that done too. That brings us to final thoughts. Dave, final thoughts?
Yeah. Not. I got nothing right now. I'm very exhausted and tired. So yeah, brain's not working right now. But yeah, play games. It's a good time for it. Tons of stuff out there. I might try and sue Dave the Diver.
For what, likeness infringement?
Oh yeah. Totally. And going into my head and stealing my dreams for a game idea of running a sushi restaurant and being fat with a goatee.
Matt, final thoughts?
I don't know what was in that drink he had, but yeah, I might need to hold that one back. 21 days, Spider-Man 2. I'm stoked. I have avoided as much coverage as possible since the big summer trailer. So
I'm sorry about
uh,
the 62
oh no,
outfits.
the costumes. Yeah, no, that's fine. Not a big deal. That's just gonna make that trophy just a little bit more annoying. But it is also split across two characters because you're playing both spider peoples. So yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for it. The first game was great. Insomniac. I had somehow forgotten that it was Insomniac for like 5 minutes that was doing that game. I was like, oh man, who's putting this out? I forget. And it's like, oh yeah. So they rarely disappoint. So that's definitely a big excitement for me. And I did get the edition with the stupid Venom statue. So that's got me way more excited than it has any right to.
And that's your last new game, right?
That'll be my last new game. I'm in negotiations to make an exception for Rebirth. But
Which
yeah,
was
as of
technically
right
supposed to come
now-
out this year anyway, so you're fine there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's technical. So, but yeah, I'm going back into lockdown. The whole life money situation has gotten a little sideways. So it's time to dig up the backlog and use some of those services I'm paying for rather than buying the new stuff. So
My final thought is actually somewhat akin to Dave's. I am maybe actually considering suing a company for false advertising.
suing who?
A company.
A company. Oh.
They promised one thing. I scoured the site to see if my understanding of the thing was wrong. It was not wrong. There was nowhere on the site that said that there was an exception or anything other than what they were advertising. I purchased the thing, which was not a small amount of money, but was not also the end of the world in terms of money either. And went to use the subscription and hit a limitation that was not disclosed beforehand. I contacted the company, pointing out that with the archived version of their site that I saved when I hit the limitation because I was kind of mad, I pointed out to them and sent them their own advertising and saying, here's the thing that says one thing, and yet I hit this limitation. The response to me was, that's the industry standard. We don't have to disclose that, even though the advertising says the exact opposite thing of what they're saying. I then responded with the 5 legal definition things you have to prove for false advertising and how they did that without saying as such. But I bullet pointed them out and then sent them and said, are you sure you don't want to provide the service that you actually advertised? And I'm waiting for a response. And if I don't hear a response, I may inquire with some legal counsel to see about that, because that's a bunch of stuff is what it is. I almost got myself on my own show.
When you started that out, I was gonna say I think you've passed the window on suing No Man's Sky, because I don't think that's a viable action anymore.
Yeah, no, it wasn't No Man's Sky. It was not it was not a video game even. It was a service that I was signing up for online. Yes.
Yeah, once you said service, I'm like, oh, okay, it's not No Man's Sky.
No. That's hilarious, but no, no. I have gone back enough times to decide that regardless of the updates that they've made, No Man's Sky is not for me, and that's okay. Like, I don't feel bad about spending that money on it. So that's fine. I
had good time with it. I got what I think was a money's worth out of it.
I think I got my money's worth out of it. Yeah.
But I wish I could be like Joe. I wish I could keep going back, but I can't seem to do it.
Well, that brings us then to the end of the show where we impart you with a sage piece of wisdom to carry you over till next we meet. Dave.
Oh God, what?
If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring?
Pilgrims?
That is correct.
Oh, I hate myself so much right now.
Until next time, be excellent to each other, and of course, game on!
Game on.